Hey y'all, it's your girl K Divine coming back with another video. The narcissist wants you to forget that everything happened. And I don't mean that facetiously, I mean that literally. The narcissist wants you to forget that everything happened. So if you're experienced a Hoover, and if you're like, what's a Hoover? A Hoover is when, after the discard, whether you discarded the narcissist or the narcissist discarded you, they are trying to come back in some way, trying to reconcile or, come back into your space. And that can be romantic, that could be a friend, that can be family. So let's say for a romantic relationship, let's say the narcissist discarded you. They went around and told everybody that you were a terrible person, that you were cheating on them the whole time that you were in the relationship and all of this nonsense. But really that was them. And then, 6 months, a year, however long, some time goes by, and all of a sudden they popping back up talking about oh, I miss you. Can we talk about things? Can we just try to, can we just have some closure? Can we please talk? Like, that's a Hoover. For your family, if you're part of a narcissistic, toxic family dynamic, a Hoover may look like you randomly getting gifts. Like if you have children, they will send clothes or supplies or books or things like that, to your home without your permission, in attempts of you connecting with them and saying like, oh, well, thank you for the gifts and all like, or they may call you and say like, come on, we're family, we gotta stick together. Or if it's like a friend situation, they may call you out of the blue, like someone who you used to be cool with, but you found out that they were like hating on you, or like they never truly liked you or something like that. And like months, years could go by, and they may like hit you up on like social media or something, and they'll like act like, hey girl, it's been a while since I've talked to you, what's going on? You're like, bitch, didn't you tell all of our friends that I wasn't shit, you didn't like me? What changed? See, the narcissist wants you to forget. They want you to be that forgiving person that you used to be. And I'm not saying that you're not forgiving, but before you were aware of the narcissistic tactics, you may be mad about something for a while, but then you try to push it down, push it back, and move forward, because ultimately it's like, you want to make sure that you are doing what needs to be done in the relationship and trying to keep relationships together. And you want to do your fair share, your part, although the narcissist doesn't want to do their part or their fair share. But the narcissist expects you to just completely forget everything. They don't want to take, and when I say forget, like, I literally mean that. They want you to pretend like that shit didn't happen. They want to pretend like this was all just a fever dream and you just overreacted to a situation that wasn't that big a deal, because that's how they minimize it. They will literally do you so dirty. They will literally, and you probably won't even know everything that was said about you or everything that's done, behind closed doors, but they just want you back in that toxic system because it works for them. You escaping that game, it ruins everything for them, because they were so hell-bent on trying to make you out to be the villain in their story. The bugs. They were so hell-bent on trying to make you the villain in their story that you deciding to leave, that doesn't suit their narrative. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if that was like a spider or like what. It was a tiny bug. But they they want you to forget. Y'all have heard me talk about my child's father several times, and just recently when we were doing our exchange of our daughter, he just says to me, you should call me sometime so we can talk. And I'm like, what? And I was like, talk about what? And he was like, well, just, talk about everything and how everything happened, and so we can get on better terms. I was flabbergasted, y'all. Let me tell you something. I rarely am like impressed by things, but that I was floored. I was like, bro, I know that did not just come out of this man's mouth. I know that he did not just say, so we can get on better terms. I know that's not what he said. I know that's not what that man just said to me. And I just could not believe that. I'm like, so we can get on better terms. Again, y'all, this is the same man that has put in court documents that I am bipolar. And that bipolar line says in the documents, I should go pull them up because they're in the car. It says that I have a history. It says that she has a history of bipolar and autism. And it's like, you don't have a history of autism. You either are autistic or you are not. I am autistic. That is a fact. I have a formal diagnosis. And I feel no shame for that. My autism actually is kind of like my superpower in a way. And just also just take that in, that the person that you had a child with put in court documents that you have a history of bipolar and autism. Like, it's clear by the way that he wrote that he never accepted my autism diagnosis. I was diagnosed officially in April of last year, in 2024. So, and I was diagnosed with ADHD in 2022, right before I got pregnant, like a few months prior to me getting pregnant. My cat is staring at me. But to be in a relationship with someone who does not accept you for who you are, because it's like, I can't not be autistic. And it's like, if you're neurodivergent, or or maybe you've struggled with your mental health over the years, that does not diminish you as a person. Like, a lot of people struggle with their mental health, but instead of being open and honest about it, a lot of people go and they push down those feelings, and they have destructive behaviors, and and instead of that, you decide to go to therapy, or you decide to try to talk it out with your family members and things of that nature, and then they call you too sensitive. And it's like, okay, I just wanted us to have an open and honest relationship. I'm sorry. But like, the fact that man said to me, like, we can get on better terms, it's like, and I even said to him, I was like, that's probably never going to happen. And I said, what does that even look like? Because it's like, you gotta, the narcissist does not want to stand on what they said about you. They don't want to have to stand on it now. I'm here, Justin Bieber. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. Like, you're standing on business. You are standing on business. And they can't stand that. And you got to understand, the Hoover is not intended for you guys to get back into your back to that beginning stage. Like, you know, it's they want you to believe that the person that they showed you who they were during the love bombing stage, they want you to believe that that's who they truly are. And that we just got to work on some things so we can get back to that. That's not who they are. When they're in the devaluation stage with you, that is who they are. That's how they feel about you. They do not care for you. They do not love you. That is who they are. And they will try to love bomb you. They'll try to send you gifts. They'll try to say nice things to you. They'll try to smooth. Can we just talk? No, there is no talking at this point. They want you to be oh so forgiving. They want you to be oh so stupid again. That's really what it is. They really want you to be dumb. They want you to see them again, like I said, as the person who they were in the love bombing stage. That's who they. I remember when me and my ex broke up, like in the midst of all of that, like within like a couple days, like I had to go pick up my daughter from his house, and this was before the court stuff. I had to go pick up my daughter, and he was like, oh, give me a hug, and we're still family. And he's like, I'm still the guy that you fell in love with in the beginning. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh yeah, this man is a narcissist. That's I mean, not that I didn't know before, like it was coming all together, but when I'm listening to him talk, and I'm like, you're still the guy that I fell in love with. I'm like, clearly you're not. It's like, you know what you was doing behind my back? You was just trying to set me up. Like, you've been talking negatively about me to your friends our entire relationship, you know? And so it's like, and had me over here thinking like, what am I doing wrong? And then it's like, I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I'm not saying I was perfect in the relationship, because I was not. There's no such thing. Like, I made mistakes too. I did things out, you know. I mean, I'm not saying like I cheated, because technically we had an open relationship. Technically, I didn't cheat on him. But I wasn't talking to other dudes like that. I had like one encounter throughout our entire, because that was our arrangement. And, you know, I didn't have a problem with it because that's something that I wanted to explore. And like I said, I only had one encounter with someone, and this was after I had my baby. You know, well after I had my baby, almost a full year. So it's like one encounter, and then me and that person never talked again after that, really. And but he was out doing a whole bunch of different type of stuff. So, and now I realize that his family saw me as stupid, because they were like, she doesn't even know like all the people that he's sleeping with, and like all this, like, it's like, because that was not the intention of the relationship. The way that we spoke about the open relationship, and like, because he was the one that was like, oh well, I want to talk about all of the people that you're dealing with, and like if you're dealing with somebody, like I want to know, and I need to meet them and all this other stuff. But it's like, so you could go out and do all this other stuff, and it's okay for you, but it's not okay for me. You know, that was the double standard in that situation. And I would never do another open relationship ever again because of that. But also because just now that I've come into like my spirituality, and I just don't want to share my body with people like that. It's just not worth it. Just the like the energy transference is just not worth it. But anyways, back to the main topic. The narcissist wants you to be stupid. They want you to forget. They want you to act like this is, like I said, like it was all a fever dream. Like, oh, it wasn't that bad. That's really what they want you to believe, that it wasn't that bad and that you're just overreacting. And like I said, the Hoover is not intended for them to show you how much they love you. The Hoover is intended to reel you back in. And I promise you that if you accept a Hoover, the abuse is going to be worse than the last time. Like, they may be nice to you for a couple of days, but once those couple of days are over, they're gonna go straight back into being some of the nastiest person to you. I promise you that. They are going to do you worse because they're mad that you slipped away the way that you did. And now they really want to try to finish the job. Anytime somebody toxic tries to come back in your life, they're not coming back because they miss you. They're coming to finish the job. They're going to come for your self-esteem. They're going, like, I remember, like, before we officially broke up, me and my ex, it was like maybe a month and a half or two in between. A month and a half in between, like, me starting to realize, like, I don't really think this man wants me or wants to be with me or likes me, for that matter. And I'm gonna do another video about they never wanted to be with you. They like the idea of being with you, because that's a totally different topic, especially for my neurodivergent and autistic girlies. That's a totally different, I might do that one today as well, so we'll see how that goes. But like a month and a half or so before we, like, officially broke up, like, I was just so frustrated at him because I was just like, okay, I don't really think he wants to be with me. And I was like, what are we doing? Because at this point, we've been together for 2 years. You know, we have a kid together. Like, I got pregnant very early on in our relationship. And, you know, I wanted to have a real family. Like, I wanted to move in together. Like, we were living separately still. You know, like, and I was not just because I was, like, struggling paying my own bills, you know, with my daughter, and, you know, and I was working full time. I was trying to go to school full time as well. So it was like I was busy and I was tired, and it's like I was just trying to do better for myself, and I just wanted my daughter to have a good life. But I was like, it doesn't make no sense to have me all the way over here. But I realized the reason why he never wanted us to really live together, like, he kept saying things like, oh, well, I don't know if it's a good idea if we should live together because the last time I lived with someone, you know, we broke up. And he's talking about his first baby mother, and it's like, what does that have to do with me? The narcissist will always utilize old situations and stuff, like, as a fear. Like, I remember I had an ex that told me that he wasn't sure about getting married because, well, I never seen a successful marriage before, so I don't even know what that looks like. And it's like, what does that have to do with you? So you're saying you don't believe in marriage because your parents didn't work out and my mom's marriage didn't work out. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it told me everything I needed to know, was that he really didn't want to be with me. He didn't want to marry me, and that's just the facts. That's just what it is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. That's just what it is. But back to my baby daddy. I remember he called me. Oh, because he was, like, texting me all day and I wasn't really, like, responding, and, like, he finally, like, called me or something, and I was like, because we were, like, arguing, and there was just certain things that he would do. Like, when he wanted to have a fight with me, he would text me. He would never call me, and that used to bother me because I'm like, I don't like arguing through text. It makes me very anxious, and it's just not a very good source of communication when you're having a disagreement. And the other thing he would do was that he would wait really long periods of time to respond. So he would go hours sometimes without responding to me, and I would think that what I said was like, I'm trying to connect with you, I'm trying not to, but he would flip it on me and say, oh, so you're saying this, and it's like, no, I'm not. And, you know, and it's like, I can't get my point across like this. And it was frustrating because I was like, I don't know how to communicate with you. Like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you and you're making it difficult. And so that's when I was like, you know, it don't really seem like he wants to work on things with me. It's like, because it's like I'm the one that's always having to change things about me, but he gets to keep doing whatever it is he does. Like, he could still be late all the time. He could be forgetful. He could be inconsiderate of my time and the things that I have to do. It's totally fine for him to do that. But the minute that I'm like, no, it's a problem. And so he had called me, and I was like, I don't know who it is that you want to be with, but it's not me. And now all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm coming to get Mila. I'm coming over. We need to talk. And I was like, I was like, talk about what? And so we had like a whole thing for like a few hours. And like I ended up like forgiving him, I guess, like because he did like this little sad story shit. I'm like, you know, I'm struggling with my mental health, and I'm gonna go to therapy. I'm gonna, he did all that shit. And I was like, I'll give him one last shot. I'll give you one last shot. And if this doesn't happen, it's done. And I mentally said that in my head, like, because I was already checking out. I was like, I'm trying to keep my family together. I do not want my daughter growing up like this. I don't. But he ended up, fucking it all up again. Treating me like shit. Neglecting my needs. And I was like, all right, we're done. We're done. Especially because he slept with one of his friends. And she was trying to throw it in my face, but also try to be friends with me at the same time. It was weird, y'all. That's a story time for this. That's a story time for a different day. But they want you to forget everything. Because it's like, I'm thinking about stuff like that. Like, even though we're not in a relationship anymore, it's just like the fact that you felt comfortable enough doing that to me when we were together, like, I don't, there's nothing to reconcile here. Stand on how you feel about me. Like, you didn't feel like I was worth it. You were okay with putting a baby in me, but you're not okay with marrying me. You're okay with keeping me on the other, keeping me 10 minutes away so that you could go and do the things that you could do when you wanted to, just so that I could come over and nurture you and all this other stuff when you needed it. You kept me at arm's length so that you could pull me in when it benefited you. You would bring me around so that you could take me to, certain events because you wanted the pretty girl on your arm or whatever. Because you got to understand, if you're a pretty woman with a narcissistic man, and I'm sure this goes for the opposite way too as well, or even, it's interchangeable. Whether you're a pretty woman or a pretty man, whoever your partner is, they like having you on their arm because you're attractive. And, that helps them with their status. And that's why they be cheating on you with, like, people, maybe, and even if that person is attractive, but, like, the caliber of that person usually is, like, lower level. Period. Like, they're nothing like you. They don't have the same morals and values and ambition as you. But they have no choice but to date like that. They have no choice but to date beneath you. They have no choice. Excuse me. They have no choice. Because only people that are below your intelligence level, below your caliber, are going to tolerate their bullshit and their nonsense for long periods of time. And you may have tolerated their stuff for a long period of time too, but now that you're awakened and now that you understand what's been going on, and they can't hold you anymore. They don't even know how to approach you now. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why it just baffled me so much when he was like, so we can get on better terms. It's like, you did all of that. You did all of that, and you want me to call you. You want me to call you so we can get on better terms. No. Because you want me to apologize for something I didn't do, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not here to explain myself. I'm not gonna say, well, I did this, and that because of this. I'm not doing none of that with you, because I already know how that shit's gonna end. Such an odd day. The weather is hot, but like it's like really cloudy. It's kind of weird. But either way, y'all, the narcissist really wants you to forget, and don't forget what they did. I don't care who they want you to believe they are. That's not who they are. That's not who they are. They are the person that you left, or who left you. That's who they are. The things that they were doing, the things that they were saying about you, how they were treating you, that is who they are. If it's a toxic family, your family hates you. They've hated you since you were a child. That's probably why you're the black sheep and / or the scapegoat. They never liked you. Your light is too bright for them. They need to dim it. Don't think for 1 second that those people give a damn about you, because they don't. They don't. And I don't mean to be mean about that or but that's just what it is. Them folks don't like you. And it's okay. I get it. I'm right here with you. Okay? I am here with you. I stand here before you with no family and no friends because of this, because of narcissism, because of toxicity. I mean, because even if some of my former friends aren't narcissists, they believed lies about me, or they never really liked me. Some people want to be in close proximity to you because you got to understand, like, you are divinely protected, and that light that you have is like a shield around your life. And then folks that they want to be covered by you. They may not know it consciously, but subconsciously and unconsciously, their spirit recognizes your closeness to source, to the Most High, to God, whatever your spiritual religious beliefs are. They recognize, their spirit recognizes that, and their demons recognize that as well. And that covering, you have a covering. Because just think about it for a second. You ever notice how you leave somebody's life, or they leave your life, and then you see them? I mean, you might see them, or you might hear about them sometime down the road, and their life is like completely in shambles. More than likely, the only reason why that person was able to prosper in life was because they were connected to you. Because you were praying for them. Because you thought highly of them. And that's why some people want to stay in your life. Because they know that being a part of your circle equals blessings. And I mean, look, let's go back to the narcissistic relationship. That narcissist is a demon, okay? But point blank period. That narcissist is a demon. That demon knows the light that you have. That's why they try to drain you of that energy. That's why you're so tired all the time around those people, because they are draining your energy. Draining you. Draining you. They're draining your energy. They know that you're a pure energy source, and they can't produce their own energy. And like, the narcissist knows that having you around, because you're attractive physically and energetically, you're physically and energetically attractive, that brings in more attention. They don't want you to get the attention. They bring you around so that they can get more attention. And see, that's probably the reason why your exes love to come back, because like I said, like, them being associated with you, them having you around, if people can be seen with you, like, if he or she could be seen with you, or they, whatever their pronouns are, if they could be seen with you or have you somewhere around in their vicinity, they know that benefits them. It's out of selfish reasons. It's not because they really want you there. They don't want you for you. They want parts of you. And that's the hardest pill to swallow, is that a lot of people that are around you don't want you. They want parts of you. They want the parts of you that make them feel better about themselves. They want the parts of you that make them feel comfortable. Standing next to you makes them feel like they got power. But they don't. Them folks want you to forget what they did. They want you to just act like that shit never happened. But now you know too much. And it's like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm one of those people that truly believes, like, you never get to say me twice. Once I see what it really is, the me that you earned is the me that you will receive. If you disrespected me and you were putting me down and you were making me out to be like an evil person, or like you're talking shit about me behind my back, you're going to continue to talk shit about me behind my back. The only way I would be able to like maybe let you back in is if I really see a lot of change in you. And that's very rare. Most people really don't change. A lot of people come to you with that bullshit of like, oh, I just miss you. And I know I was wrong. And it's like, okay, but like, what were you like? But they won't admit what it really is. They won't admit like I was jealous, or I didn't know how to process or deal with my feelings for you, or like I just don't like you. They can't tell you that, because then you wouldn't come back. The devil doesn't show up to your door as the devil, otherwise you won't let him in. They want y'all to be stupid. Don't be stupid no more. Go watch my video about don't stay stuck on stupid. I did that one a couple weeks back. Don't stay stuck on stupid. Don't let these people make you believe that you are not worthy, because you are. You're very worthy. All right, y'all. I got to go do some things, because the weather is just, I don't know. It's just kind of weird today. So I think I will run some errands real quick, but I love y'all. I'm gonna make some more videos today and tomorrow probably. Post. I got a couple things that I didn't post last week that I need to make up on, so I'm gonna post those as well. But it's your girl K Divine, y'all. I love y'all. If you want to book me for a coaching session, I'll put that down in the description below. If you like to donate to my channel, feel free to buy me a coffee. That will also be down in the description below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. Please interact. The algorithm loves that. I want to get my story and my message out to more people as much as I possibly can. And yeah, I love you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. It's your girl K Divine. Shalom, family. I love you. Bye.